Yeah. This week inside the New York Knicks, episode 7 of the 24-25 NBA season. And this podcast is dedicated to documenting the Knicks 365. You give me 50 minutes, I give you the Knicks. And we're gonna be rocking action-packed show. And I'm excited, man. Knicks coming off a nice win. Kind of like to push us away from the Magic or the Hawks game, that Magic win. So I'm definitely happy. Sorry, I got this mic in my head. Take this off. Salute the Maxine in the building early. New York City, salute to you. Yeah, definitely a great week. Of course, we'll be covering the time period between December 18th to the 15th, right? And we'll be talking about these Knicks and, of course, their record during this stretch. They were 2-1. And they got 2 wins against the Raptors in Orlando, and then, of course, an unfortunate loss to the Hawks. So this week inside the New York Knicks, y'all. Trying to think anything else I want to talk about. Oh, be sure to be on the lookout Fridays, 10:45 p.m. We did the call-up show. Definitely a successful show. We had some interesting callers. We had my man Ill Will out of Brownsville. He called in, and we had Simon. He also called in. So be on the lookout for the next call-up shows, and I'll post the schedule of some of the future broadcasts going forward. I'm trying to think anything else I want to talk about. I get into the schedule too. I posted in the community section some of the future updates, but don't want to keep you guys waiting for too much longer. I'm gonna jump into research mode. Transition. Bam. So every Monday, we got the new blog this week inside the Knicks.com. I managed to take the time to actually write the article. So usually around like 9 o'clock in the morning time, you get the new article up there. And this is basically what the podcast is about, documenting the Knicks 365. Give me 50 minutes, I give you the Knicks. So anytime the season's ongoing, you get busy and you lose touch, you just come to this blog on Monday morning and it'll catch you up to everything you missed. Look, I got all the stuff here, but we're going to get into some of these topics, and whatever we don't get to, you guys could definitely read the blog. Where do I want to start? Let's start off really light. Let's start off with Mikal Bridges. He reached his 500 game. New York salute to Mikal Bridges for reaching his 500 straight game, not missing not one game. Man, I mean, how long will this continue? How long will this continue? Now, I did check the news before I got in a couple of hours ago. Not sure if we got any news updates. Hopefully, I'm praying that we don't get any updates involving Mikal Bridges and the injury, but it seemed like he might have tweaked his calf last night at the Magic game. We'll talk more about the Magic game in a second, but I'm hoping that, Mikal doesn't, that 500 game will be the last game of the streak. According to my knowledge, he wasn't on the injury report, and I don't see none. I'm just glancing right quickly. I didn't see anything regarding him, but it was a little interesting seeing him sort of tweak his calf and going 500 straight games. I mean, that's so impressive. I mean, this is the era of load management, guys sitting out, guys not, taking nights off. Look at LeBron try to play 82 games in a row, but he had to take some mental health time to get his mind right and also to heal his body. So for him to do this, it's pretty impressive and lead the league in minutes. He's leading the league in minutes per game and total minutes, period. So how long will this last? I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. I was going to poll it, but I'd rather poll the Knicks defense because the Knicks defense was looking better. We'll talk more about the Knicks defense. I don't know. I don't know if he'll make it 82 games this season. I don't know. I hope he does, but I do think that it might have to get to a point where you sit out a game just to take the pressure off. Because he tweaked his calf, they was asking him to come out the game. He waved them off. I don't know. I don't like that. I just think it's too much, man. I mean, salute to the young brother, but 500 games in a row, you get hurt. You might tweak something, sit out. And another thing too, like not last night's game because the Magic were fighting, but Coach Tibbs needs to take these guys out. If we up big Like, there's no reason to have these guys out there risking their health. So let me move to the next article. That's Mikal Bridges. I wanted to start off giving him a quick little salute. Let me see. Number 2. So we did lose out on another national TV game, even though we got that game back. That was the game against the Magic, actually. They took us off of TNT, but they put us back on, like a couple of days leading up to the game. So we just got word that the Knicks-Toronto game, right, that was supposed to be on the 8th, got taken off of ESPN. So we lost another national TV game, and they're putting the Cavaliers-Thunder game on national TV. Now, I want to say this about that. It's kind of funny, like, these teams, the Cavs, the Thunder, they don't get enough national TV time. Now, of course, they did get more national TV time this year, but it's just New York is a big deal, man. Like, they got to put us on TV. Look at the NBA Cup rating. I was going to save that for when we talk about the NBA Cup, but look at the NBA Cup ratings. It's down. The ticket prices, they had to drop the ticket price. They're having trouble selling ticket prices out there. Now, imagine if you would have had New York versus anybody. You already know we would have took that over. How many of you guys probably already had your Vegas trips booked looking to go to Vegas to watch the games? But you take Vegas out. The Lakers won it last year. The ratings were pretty good last year. So, yeah, you're seeing the prominence of the big market teams, and now they're going to have to readjust schedules. And I do think that they should consider being a little bit more flexible with these national TV games, because look at how many games does the Sixers have? And now look at them. Joel Embiid are going to be out another week, right? So, yeah, but we lost that date. It is what it is. I ain't tripping off of that, because we still got over 30 other games we had, whether upcoming or previous. So, just some others. Let me close some of these tabs out. All right, cool. So let me get to the next one. I'm going to be moving a little fast. By the way, some of the topics we'll be talking about, I do got it listed there. The flagship topic is trade rumors. We will get into some trade rumors and trade ideas. So whatever trade rumors and trade ideas you have, let's get into it. In a second, we'll get into the NBA Cup. Of course, we'll talk about the games. Definitely the Knicks versus Magic game. Maybe retouch the Hawks game a little bit. And whatever interesting stuff from the Raptors game I will look at. But the lawsuit, the Toronto Raptors, New York Knicks, the Knicks lawsuit against the Raptors, we got some updates with that. Well, lack of updates, but an update to why we have the lack of updates. We'll get into that. We'll also touch on the power rankings, right? And this week I do have Bleacher Report power rankings, so we'll get into see what they have there posted. And then, of course, we're going to do Nick of the Week, right? Nick of the Week. That's a new thing we added to the podcast. I actually dropped the article, so if you somebody who frequents the blog, you would have seen it earlier. I posted the Nick of the Week from this same time period that we're talking about. And, of course, Word on the Street and much more. So this is what we're doing right now. And like I said, this is the one-stop shop for you to get all your Knick news and stay up to date. And I try to cover as many topics as I can on the pod, but the blog has everything. All you have to do is just go to thisweekinsidetheknicks.com, and you'll be able to see it. So I'm going to jump into the next article. I'm going to move a little fast. Now, this is the defense I was talking about. I did a poll earlier today in Word on the Street, and I'll get to that later. I was asking you guys, the Knicks defense seemed to be better in the past couple of games. And definitely, Maxine, we got to get the like buttons up. We definitely got to get the likes and the subscribers up. If you're not subscribed, if you haven't hit the like button, definitely take the liberty to hit that like button. But we're going to talk a little bit about defense right now. And, I think that the Knicks defense over the past couple of games has improved. And we're holding teams to lower points, right? A couple of times we would score 120, but we're giving up 117, right? I do think that the defense has improved the last two games. Even though we did lose to the Hawks, we managed to hold them to under 30% shooting. Last night, the Magic was shooting under 30% shooting last night, but they managed to finish the game at a 30% clip. And I do think that there has been a shift, or rather, you know what it was? Because I feel like we've always had talented individuals on the defensive end. OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, right? Deuce McBride is pretty good on the ball, on the perimeter defensively. We see Jericho Sims had one of the best, the best percentage in terms of denying people coming to the basket and opponent's field goal percentage at the rim. He has the best defensive stat in that regard. So we've seen flashes of individual prominence defensively. I think what's happening now is they're playing more collective as a collective on the defensive end. The rotations have been tighter. Now, granted, the Orlando Magic did not have their two best players, so we can't completely gas it up like we were going up against the number one offense in basketball, right? So Minnesota has a better offense than what Orlando would present it. So I do think that going forward, we will be able to see how the defense looks. But Coach Tibbs, definitely, he spoke out against it during one of his press conferences. He said, scroll up a little bit. He said, yes, there are areas that could be better, but the team's coach believes they're progressing. He says, I think we're top 10 in, listen to this, guys. We're top 10 in points allowed. We're 12th in points in the paint. We're 5th in fast break points allowed. We're top 5 in second chance points allowed. So those are all good markers, he said. Defensive field goal percentage, in the last 10 games, we've been good. Facts. Like I said, the defense has been better recently. I think we're 13th overall. It's moving in the right direction. They went from literally, in a span of 2 weeks, they went from 22nd in defensive rating to like 16, 17. Right? I think that's where we stand right now. I didn't get a chance to check it this morning, but the last time I checked, which was yesterday, we was around 16, 17 in defensive rating. So I think we're 13th overall. It's moving in the right direction. Can it be better? Yes. And that's what we're aiming for. So salute to Coach Tibbs. Definitely working to get the defense right. I do remember, I'm going to get to that later. I'm not even going to talk about that. But there's been talks amongst the team that they've been working on it. And this break, honestly, I think will benefit them and a lot of the other veteran teams. Let me see what you guys talking about. Brooklyn Knicks fan says, Knicks got back Moses Brown. I'll sign and trade Sims for 2 rounds. So for a second round picks. You know what, though? I'm going to say this about Brooklyn Knicks fan. By the way, salute to you, Brooklyn Knicks fan. I think we also connected on TikTok, Brooklyn Knicks fan, right? I could have sworn we connected on TikTok. Oh, let me plug in my laptop before it dies. But I want to say this. The Indiana Pacers, they needed a center bad. They lost 2 of their centers for the season, right? And the backup centers. So there's no greater opportunity to get a spot than Indiana right now, especially at the 5, right? Now, every team has different politics. So I don't know what was going on with Indiana, but my thought is if you can't make it there, if you can't make it in Indiana and they need a center, how are you going to fare in New York where there's a guy on the bench in the G League? And I think they just got sent down again. I know Tyler Kolek. I didn't get to read the whole article, but I did see they sent some guys back down to the G League today to get run and to get minutes. You got a guy in Ariel Hukporti who is the best backup center on the team right now because Mitch is not there, and he doesn't get run. So what will Moses Brown do that Ariel is not doing to get time? I think it falls back on the guy we got on the screen here, Coach Tibbs. Does he want to give these guys the light of day? I don't know. But this right here, them improving on defense, is not going to make a better case for these guys off the bench. So let me see if there's anything else in this article before I move on. So this is the defense. Like I said, the defense has been better. Oh, yeah. See, look, they were 16th in defensive rating. Salute to me, man. Knicks were 16th in defensive rating, right? Allowing 113.7 points per possession, right? A year ago, they were 9th at 112. Right, yeah, we finished 9th. But see, here's another thing that people don't realize. This Knicks team struggled defensively early on as well, right? And we were ranked like anywhere around 20th early in the year before OG trade. Once the OG trade happened, then we cracked the top 10. So showing the same slow development on the defensive end that we did last year is kind of similar. But I do think that with the offense being way higher, way better, I'm beginning to believe that this year's team, it's safe to say this year's team is better than last year's team. And that's how the numbers are looking. So wait for the next Knicks and 10 show. I will get more into that. Let me move forward. Let me see. So we talked about defense. Let me see. Okay. So let's do this. Okay. Identity crisis. Now, salute to my cousin, Dusty. I don't know. He listens to a lot of sports, so this may not be his idea, right? He probably got this. Now that I think about it, salute to Dusty, but he probably got this from somebody else. He sent me a text, right? Because we text all the time about sports. All day. Especially if the Knicks lose. Listen, if the Knicks lose, he's going to text me some crazy stuff. He's going to be laugh. He'll text me a 10-second voice clip of him just laughing. Okay? So this guy's always on my neck. But one of the things he did ask me that I thought was a good question, and I did answer it, because I study these Knicks, so I will have an answer. But he said, he made a claim actually before he positioned the question. He said, when I look at all these other top teams, one thing that's been consistently true is that they all have an identity. They all have an identity. What is your identity as the Knicks? What is your identity as the Knicks? When I watch the Knicks play, you guys look like a team that doesn't have identity. And I was like, ooh, that's a great topic. And I was going to bring it up, but just never got a time to actually address it content-wise. But one of the things I said about the Knicks, right? Because identity, when you ask that question, it could go a multitude of ways. Like, are you an offensive team or a defensive team? Like, if identity is based off your style of play or which area in the game you're more proficient at, then I would say we are an offensive team, right? Or or your identity could be, the type of offense you run. Like you play through your big man, you play through your guards, right? You're playing 94 feet on defense. If you're a defensive team, right? You're clogging up the paint, right? You dominate the paint like Orlando does, right? So the way I answered the question was, I said that our identity is that, one, we are an offensive-minded team that can play defense, that has a premier pick-and-roll attack, where if they begin to really utilize the pick-and-roll more, and they have been, but like if they really can play off pick-and-roll, sort of like make it a real staple of their game, like Stockton and Malone. They got the best duo in basketball. We'll get into that in a second. But it also creates so much opportunities for the other guys in the offense. We noticed that they're 11-1 when they get 30 assists or more. So I say that we're an offensive team with a premier pick and roll attack, and we need to make that the staple and make that our identity. So like I said, the identity question can go a multitude of ways. It could be personnel. It could be, are you a veteran team? It could be a lot of things. But for me, I feel like we're an offensive team that has the ability to play defense. And our identity is that we run, we have a somewhat of a heliocentric model where Jalen Brunson does a lot of the creating of offense, scoring, and getting guys involved. But it's also kind of predicated on a guy like Josh Hart, who sometimes makes plays and takes the pressure off of Jalen Brunson. And they find different ways to feature their other scorers. Towns, you already know pick and roll. He's a pick and roll guy. You already know the modern day post up. Take a big man off the dribble, dive to the basket. You already know that's what Towns loves to do. So putting those guys in those positions. But I do think that when they were the number one offense, I think that's who this team is. We are a scoring team. Salute the buzzer beater in the building. New York City salute. What's good, man? This is the podcast this week inside the New York Knicks, episode 7 of the 2024-25 season. Running through some topics. I didn't get to none of the topics yet that's on the right of the screen, but I'm getting to them soon. I'm just hitting some preliminary topics. We're going to get into some of the game reviews in a second. But right now, we're talking about the Knicks identity. So if you have a thought on the Knicks identity, I'm curious to know what you guys will have to say in the comments. And even if I have to double back to this area, I will. But, let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about the Knicks identity? Because to be honest, it's like, if you read this article as well, it talks about the trade and like Ill Will said that we're not tough anymore. We lost our toughness. And I'm saying, because, the knock on Towns is that he's soft. So I'm like, I asked him a question like, okay, if Towns is soft, what about him is soft? Because I can't argue for Minnesota and his high school, college day. I don't care about none of that. When this brother plays with the Knicks, I've seen him take on challenges. I've seen him thrive against physical play, a la last night. So when you say we lost our toughness, I don't know about that. I've seen Towns get up off the floor. Like, damn, is he hurt? He's waving off the bench. No, I stay in the game. We seen Mikal do the same thing last night. What is tough? See, it's just too subjective. And I don't like to get caught up in the subjective trap. I am the objective Knicks fan. It's too loose with interpretation. This guy is tough because he posts up with his back to the basket all day. Huh? Towns is soft because what? Because Jimmy Butler said it? I'm just saying, I haven't seen soft in New York. That's my point. Let me see some more people in the building. The hustle we lost with iHeart and Dante. So are you trying to say Precious doesn't hustle? You trying to say Josh Hart doesn't hustle? Trying to say OG Anunoby doesn't hustle? Trying to say Mikal Bridges doesn't? I mean, it's still the same elements there. It's just we lost players. Is Dante tough because he stood in front of somebody's face? When did Towns back away and cower? I'm just saying, like, in the Knicks uniform. I haven't seen it. Let me move forward to the next topic. You keep the comments coming, though, guys. We could, whatever you guys would like to talk about in terms of this area that whether it's softness, whether it's identity. Wait, did I just pull up the post? Let me see. Is this a quote here? I got another quote here. Okay, cool. I'll read this. Just to double down on identity. For as lethal as New York can be offensively, is without an identity. That statement right there kind of bothers me. Like, for as lethal as New York can be offensively, it's without an identity. Something to hang his hat on when things get tough. That's probably the biggest difference between this year's and last year's, which was a physical, scrappy bunch that could get ugly and win if they need it. Did they get ugly and win last night? We didn't get ugly and win last night? Because that was an ugly game last night. Jalen Suggs literally fouled Jalen Brunson 3 times in one possession. We'll talk about that. But what are they talking about, bro? Sometimes we have to write stories. I'm just saying, like, I look at Towns and I see tough in the Knick uniform. I can't argue for Minnesota. I can't argue for some of these other places. When I look at Towns, I see toughness. That's what I've seen all year. They say he don't like to play with his back to the basket. I've seen him, the first possession of games, down low like this. Down low, give me the ball. Anyway, so I'm gonna read some more of this and I'm done. The Knicks might be playing with fire. They can't tap into that again soon. Now, is this where we really have to get on top of it? Because You don't want to get into what they call the dog days of the season and not have an identity and try to force everything back at the end of the season. That's what they did last year. That's exactly what the Knicks did last year. Everything that they said that the Knicks don't want to do this year, the Knicks did last year. Remember, when we did the trade for OG Anunoby, we were 17-15. That was our record. And then they turned it on late. So like I said, we trying to, write stories and get clicks, and I get it, but I don't think the identity is an issue. And like I said, look, I said this on Still Knicks Fans, right? I said that we getting ready to go on a Cleveland Cavalier-like run. Now, granted, when I said it, I didn't anticipate losing to Detroit. That was a bad loss. We did lose to the Hawks, but the Hawks are not a bad team. But we should have won that game. We beat Orlando. We got Minnesota, which is the next toughest game. But then after that, we got New Orleans. We got Toronto. We got a young San Antonio. We got Orlando again, maybe with Paolo, but more than likely without Paolo. We got Washington twice, Utah, and then OKC. Then after that, it turns up. So we had a chance to really string together 8 to 9 wins, right? And I don't really care about necessarily winning every game, straight, but we should win 7 out of the next 2 games. And if we do that, articles like this will fall to the wayside. So let me move forward to the next article real quickly. Okay, cool. Time is good. I got an article here talking about Mitchell Robinson. And this is what fuels some of the rumors talk is Mitch, because we got some conflicting reports. Shams said that he heard Mitch will be coming back late January, early February. And so recently, this is a report from Tom Thibodeau, right? A direct statement from our coach. Recent ESPN report listed a timetable for Mitchell Robinson to return as late as the end of January, February, right? From his ankle surgery that he had back in May or June. That was the news coach Tom Thibodeau. I haven't heard that. Right? He said this was news to him. He said, I haven't heard that. He's following a protocol, going step by step. And when he's ready, he's ready. He's doing well. He hasn't been cleared for practice yet. Once he gets cleared for practice, then we'll have a better idea of a timeline. So, I'm not trying to take a dig at Shams, but at the same time, brother, it's like, if the coach of the team doesn't even know the timeline, how are you putting out timelines? And now we got all these rumors that has sort of been fueled by that timeline, by that tweet from Shams. We're going to talk more about that, but my thing is like, this is why sometimes I get reports and I'm like, if it doesn't come from someone from the team, I'm kind of iffy with it. Because it's like, we were told by the organization, right? We had people from the organization earlier on that stated December, January. Shams comes and says January, February. I'm just saying. And Tibbs is saying he never heard that. So there is no timeline, right? There is no timeline. So that's all for these topics. Let me jump into, I'm going to touch on this lawsuit real briefly. I don't want to spend too much time into the lawsuit, but Adam Silver, the Knicks blast Adam Silver for dragging out the bombshell Raptors investigation. Now, some of us, including me, I thought that this disappeared with the OG trade because once the OG trade went down, you never heard anything else about the lawsuit. So I thought it was like bygones be bygones. We gave you quickly RJ. Let's just, sweep it under the rug because it was only $10 million. It's crazy. The players in that deal, we just watched Emmanuel Quickly sign a 5-year, $172 million contract. We watched OG Anunoby sign a 5-year, $212 million contract. The last I could remember, because we've been covering this saga between the Raptors and the Knicks since the beginning, since it happened. And I could remember it was like $10 million. That's what the Knicks were seeking. And I'm like, you're probably paying half of that in lawyer fees. So I thought it was dead in the water, but the Knicks blame Adam Silver's bias for dragging his feet on to arbitrate, right, this matter. He said, we've been waiting for any direction from the NBA on the next step of this matter for months. So that's why it's been quiet. I thought it was OG Anunoby. No, it wasn't. Proving that the point that the NBA is not capable of appropriately and fairly handling this serious theft of proprietary and confidential files. The Knicks are taking this matter very seriously. They feel like their proprietary information was stolen. Okay? And this was from an MSG spokesperson. Once again, you see this right here? Anytime you get a quote from an MSG spokesman, you can take that as solid because you're actually getting a source. So, but when Sham says he heard this, and it's like, then you got the coach saying that, I'm going with the coach. I'm not going to go with Sham. Right? Unfortunately, because of clear conflict of interest between the commission and the chairman of the NBA, right? Because that's actually Adam Silver's boss. There has been complete silence from the league. So I'm gonna stop it there. That's been the update. So the the Knicks blame the NBA for dragging their feet on this matter. Meanwhile, before I move on to the next topic and I get into this game, I do want to take the time. Oh, I forgot. I don't got to do that no more. Everything is right here this week inside of Knicks.com. I do want to take the time to show you guys the Captain 11 hoodies, right? Inspirational or inspired by our captain, Jalen Brunson, the Captain 11 line, right? We got all different types of merchandise you can get. We got hoodies, different colors, right? Different colors. And we have mugs, right? I can't wait for this to come. This will be here soon. So I'm going to start the drink because I saw still Knicks fans drinking from his mug. I say, I got to get my mug so I can start drinking from it too. Definitely shop.theobjectiveknicksfan.com and you can actually check out some of this stuff and get it at a nice price, nice discount. Some of you guys might also notice I got the shop items back on the YouTube channel as well. So you can also go to the shop tab on YouTube and check out some of the merch that's there. I'm not done putting everything there. But like I told you guys on the last podcast, I would have it done, and I got it done. Definitely take the time to go check out the shop and enjoy. All right, and this is my favorite too. Can't wait for this. I believe this is what I got coming. Yeah, I love this right here. All right, the Captain 11 Skyline, the Captain 11 New York Skyline hoodie. All right, so now I'm gonna jump back into this, back into the blog. Where we at? All right, Val. So I want to talk a little bit about the Magic game. I didn't get a chance to finish my review. Typically, I write game reviews for each game. Each time I do write a review, you can find it on the blog this week inside the Knicks.com. And this is an image from last night's game. And honestly, Karl-Anthony Towns, people were getting on him. They say that's why he's soft. He always makes a face when they hit him. I'm like, dude, this is basketball, bro. Like we talking about. He always makes a face when you hit him. Man, people, what I learned about people is that they go on these wild tirades. And I do think it's just because they have a bias against a player. And my thing is, if you do have a bias against a player, why don't you just say that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why does it have to be, this mystery as to why when it's really you just don't like the player? So typically when you don't like something, you're always going to create these biases and excuses, right? So, but the Knicks, I consider it a blowout, though the Magic did cut it to single digits. It wasn't close. The Magic did not have no chance of winning this game. They played a very physical brand of basketball, but Towns, he had the monster double-double, 22-22. But my pick for the player of the game was Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson was the player of the game. Those guys, all of them, after the loss to the Hawks, they would, they did their press conference speeches, and all these guys looked like they were very serious. Once I saw that, I said, yo, Knicks they definitely going to win this game. This is going to be, I'm not going to say an easy win, but it's going to be a convincing win. And that's what it was. The article we just read about identity talk about the Knicks lost their toughness. I don't know. I think that sometimes you might have a strong person in moments where he's not tough, and then a person who you wouldn't consider tough, they would be tough. So I don't consider that necessarily a trait of identity to say that we lost it. I still think we have dogs on this team. that will show you toughness. And this guy, the Captain 11, who we just showed his hoodies, this guy right here played through a lot of physicality. Jalen Suggs was Jalen Suggs plays. He's a football player, bro. He's a football player. Forget the fact that he went 4 of 20 from the field and he was just bricking up a whole lot of shots. He had one stretch where he missed like 8 shots in a row, something crazy like that. Forget that. Let's touch on the fact that this man fouled Jalen Brunson 3 times in one possession. And it's like the ref was reluctant to call a foul. And our captain, showing his toughness and grit, continue to dribble the ball. I ain't passing the ball. How many of you guys are hoop, right? By the way, I got a video. I'm going to try to get up there tonight of me hooping for all my channel members. I'll talk about the channel members a little later. But how many of you guys actually hoop and you're going up against somebody who is a trash talker or they proclaim themselves to be a defensive specialist? Yeah, I lock you down, right? So they're guarding you, and now it's like they may be a little extra aggressive, and that makes you more aggressive on the offensive. Like, I ain't passing the ball. That's what Brunson did in that possession. He had 31 points, 5 assists, 31 points on 18 shots, by the way. That's hella impressive. 4 of 8 from downtown, and to me, he was the player of the game. And let me see, before I continue, I see some new chats. Oh, by the way, salute to Knicks will be Chance 2526. He has the best name in the YouTube community. What's good, Knicks will be Chance? Just here talking about the pod, running down the topics. We now talk about the game. 18 defensive rebounds is crazy. Salute to Knicks 100, by the way. Knicks 100, you was coming for me a little bit on that the Knicks talk show, the Knicks call-up show. I like it, though. I like it. But he was bringing the heat. He was like, oh, man. And he was actually agreeing with the Net fan I had on there, by the way. Yeah, I had a Brooklyn Net fan on there who secretly hates the Knicks, though. On that call, he was being very diplomatic. Anyway, yeah, it was definitely an interesting call. But yeah, 18 defensive rebounds, Knicks 100, definitely. The man is a beast. And we're going to talk a little bit more about Towns in a second. But, yo, he really showed me that he is the truth. So, physicality, matching it. And, you know what, let's look at the box scores a little bit. I'm not going to spend too much time on the game. I do have a write-up that I am working on. You know, my 4 notables that I normally do. Let's pause that. Okay, Mikal. Oh, I also thought, honestly, I was going to give the player of the game to Mikal Bridges. To me, he had a great 1 through 3 quarters. He was playing very well, shooting the ball very efficiently, with confidence. And then also, what made me really want to give it to Mikal the most was his defense on Suggs. He locked Suggs down. Remember, Suggs came into the game averaging 29 points ever since, Wagner went down. So Suggs has been on one. And for Mikal to take the challenge and shut him down the way he did, granted, we know it wasn't the Magic full strength. Granted, we know the Magic are not the greatest offensive team, especially without their 2 guys. To me, it still was nice to see Mikal actually shut someone down and get buckets on the other end of the floor and do it at an efficient pace. So I got to give a big time salute to Mikal Bridges. He almost was the player of the game, but the big cat, the big bodega, also, he had 22 and 22. He was another guy that I was like, man, I might have to give him the player of the game. 22 and 22, 18 defensive rebounds. Like Knicks 100 was saying, I mean, that's just hella impressive. And not to mention the Julius Randle 5 assists. Can Towns continue the 5 assists? If Towns can get his average up to around 5 assists going forward, I hate to be like that, but it might have to be Julius who? Julius who? I don't want to sound like that, but that's the one thing that you can clearly say or give the edge to Randle was, Randle was getting more assists. Right? Randle was more of a playmaker for others, but Towns has been showing his ability to pass the ball. Now, the 6 turnovers is not great, but, he's making a lot of plays, so you're going to turn the ball over. I don't like 43 minutes, and I don't like 41 minutes for Mikal either. Don't like 43 minutes, don't like 41 minutes, and I'm not sure if Ariel is out from injury, because I didn't really get to check the injury report for that game. But if Ariel is available, Ariel needs to play. He definitely needs to play. Let me see who's in the chat. Oh no, so Knicks 100 is all good. Look, Knicks 100. I'm just having fun. I know. We just having fun. I like it. I love the conversation, and I want you to continue to call it how you see it, because that what makes these shows real. Salute the coach, by the way. New York City, salute the coach. Nick Tate Madness Discord server in the house. Me and Coach, we used to disagree all the time with Karl Anthony Towns, right? And that really was like the only thing we really disagreed on. But yeah, Coach definitely, he helped me see the light. Let me see. Oh, Coach said he's at his son's game. Just checking in. Salute to you, Coach, and your son. Hopefully your son drops 100 points on him. You know what I'm saying? Salute to your son, man. Doing it big. Let me see. Knicks 100. Anyone who disagree with my takes gets blocked. Oh man. Hey. Oh. Whoa. Knicks will be. Hold on. Knicks will be chance. We gotta slow that down. We got to allow them to disagree. We can't block nobody. I know you are a mod. I know you're just joking too. But salute the Knicks will be chance, man. Listen. This is not the chat where we block you for having disagreeable views. Even listen. A lot of you guys, and some of you guys are my people, y'all was kind of hard on Dusty especially on the first Knicks call-up show. And I let it slide because as long as you're not uber disrespectful, like, cursing and stuff like that, it's okay to tell somebody they're wrong or to really expose someone and how you feel about their opinion. And also how maybe they may not be knowledgeable about their position like that, right? They might not know what they're talking about. I'll say it. You don't know what you're talking. I had to tell Dusty that a couple of times. Bro, you don't really know what you're talking about. So yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. Try to think anything else from this game. Let me see. Mo Wagner. Yeah, Towns gave him a flagrant foul. And Coach was said in the Discord, Coach said, I'm glad he fouled him like that. Yeah, get him off your back. Jonathan Isaac, he played, even though he had the right hammy. It's funny, like the Knicks, we always get the other team's A game, right? They could have a broken leg the night before, leg broke. Next game, oh yeah, we playing for the Knicks. It's always going to be that way. We always are going to get the opposing team's best. But you know what? I like that because that's just going to make us better. If you coming with your best every night, that's just going to make us better. Let me see if I want to jump into the NBA Cup. Yeah, I'm going to jump into the NBA Cup right before we get the flagship. We're going to get the flagship soon. We'll talk about trade rumors. Any other trade rumors, you guys, if something happens while we're live, let me know and we'll talk about it. Let me get the sip of water. I love water. Definitely. Anything that happens while we live, if there is a trade, because we know December 15th is on, and typically there's a lot of trades that happen and stuff like that. So let's see. Let me see. Wesley Robinson. Salute to you. I'm checking in from Long Island, a.k.a. Strong Island. Let's go. Yes, the home of Rakim, Public Enemy, EPMD, Craig Matt. Oh, man, he got the whole list. Method Man, I like that. You claiming Method Man. Rocky Marciano, Dr. J. Okay. Yes, sir. Danny Green, Jim Brown. Ooh, okay. He putting on, okay, Strong Island in the house, representing. I didn't say my saying today. You're now rocking with the most popular Knicks YouTube channel. I am the objective fan, straight out of Kings County, New York City's finest. And you know the vibes. Let's go, man. Let's go. Definitely shout your counties out up in the building. I like that. I like how Wesley Robinson came in the building. That's how you do it. You gotta let them know where you from. Let me see. Knicks 100. Dante tanking. Okay, let's go. Okay. When you say Dante tanking, are you talking about Dante DiVincenzo? Or are you talking about somebody else? I'm lost. That must be an inside joke. I'm gonna back out. Let me talk about the NBA Cup real quickly. Now, there was a big thing. I'm not gonna talk about the game. Oh, they took it down. Okay, ooh. They took it down. Hold on, let me see if I got it right here. I wonder why they took it down. Oops, height. What we doing? All right, yeah, I'm gonna use this one. So there was a big thing made about the NBA Cup game with the Hawks. I'm not gonna play the video, but you can kind of see it here. I mean, we all watched the game. And so when the Hawks were winning, down the stretch, Trae Young he decided to act like he was rolling dice, right? Josh Hart, Josh Hart was just not even looking at Trae Young. Like Brunson was, though. You see Brunson, right? And so a big deal was made about that. It was kind of disrespectful. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it real. You can't roll dice on the Knicks logo in the NBA Cup game. That is crazy. However, I do respect where Jalen Brunson's coming from, right? I'm riding with the captain. He's on the Mr. Miyagi. That's some Mr. Miyagi stuff right there. You know, wax on, wax off. You know what I'm saying? Wax on, wax off. You know, we gotta, we can't be offended by him rolling the dice in the center, right? We should have won the game. And then he wouldn't roll the dice. I appreciate the wax on, wax off mentality. I'm riding with that. But at the same time, you can't let the brother do that. Like, I would have went and stole the ball at least. You know what I'm saying? Give me the ball. That's my ball. You know what I mean? Knicks 100, I see you. He scooped up the dough twice. Facts. To make it even worse, he doubled up on us in the Garden. That is crazy. That, I ain't gonna lie. That was definitely crazy. Definitely offended a lot of people because, you know, Knicks fans, one of our chants that we always go on when we win a playoff game, when we outside for an hour after the game, one of the things we always say is F Trae Young. He's like the number one notorious villain at all times, whether we're playing him or not. Oh, and I would love to see Trae Young in the playoffs. Yeah, I want to run it back. Yeah, I want that get back. Yeah, I want that. And you know who else I want to get back to with? Definitely Indiana. But I want to get back with Miami as well. Nah, we ain't taking no shorts out here, y'all. So Isaiah Hartenstein, right? A guy who always gets mentioned on every show, and I hate mentioning the guy. Not that I don't like him, it's just that the dude be saying a lot of sideways stuff about the Knicks, man. He be saying, and some of you guys be like, oh man, I wish we had Hartenstein. But he be saying stuff to let you know he never wanted to be a Knick. Like once he left, yeah, he signed with us, of course. Yeah, he came to the Knicks. He wanted to be. I'm talking about once he decided to go to OKC, right? The brother, his ties to the Knicks is cut off. He is a Thunder now, right? And he's entitled to have that, right? I'm not saying that he's supposed to be a Knick for life, and because there is no loyalty in basketball. The only loyalty is amongst the fans. New York City, salute to the fan, right? Now, he said that he would not have allowed Trae Young to celebrate all over the Knicks logo like that, right? So Jalen Brunson responds and says, Isaiah isn't here. Once again, with the wax on, wax off mentality, right? Isaiah, you're not here. Why are you even commenting on it, right? And let me see if I got the follow-up right here. Hartenstein, who played the last teaser, he said, this is what Hartenstein's exact quote was. I wouldn't have let him roll the dice on mid-court. I would have done something. I've always got love for New York. He did say he got love for New York. But we don't want to hear that when you're not here, bro. We don't want to hear that when you're not here. No, no, bro. No, I don't want to hear that when you're not here. But I like Jalen Brunson saying that, yo, Isaiah, you're not here. He said a couple of other things. Let me see if I got in the other article. Where Jalen Brunson said, I think this was the initial quote right here. Where he said the fake energy into being upset about the celebration. Let me see. Yeah, we should win the game if we don't want him to do that. But he said something else to the Isaiah Hartenstein stuff, too. I don't have it. But the bottom line is this. I salute the captain for his Master Miyagi ways. You know what I'm saying? I might have to create some Captain 11 Master Miyagi shirts. Because sometimes Jalen Brunson, like, he comes across as, you know, just like a wise, pious guy. And that probably is what he is. And to be honest, that is the right answer, right? Like, yo, if we win the game, there is no celebration, you know? But at the same time, you know, Isaiah Hartenstein technically is right. I just don't like the fact that you're not with the Knicks and you always talking about the Knicks. Do I have anything about the ratings too? Yeah, I do. Yeah, so here's what I was talking about earlier. The tickets for the NBA Cup, the tickets have plummeted since the teams were set. They were hoping for the Lakers, Warriors, Suns, Clippers, Celtics, or Knicks, but no dice. Since we talk about dice, no dice. The current prices. Check out these prices. For the Bucks Hawks game, it was $29. For the Thunder's Rockets game, it was $39. And for the final, it's $79. We went over the ticket prices on the Knick Call-Up show on Friday. Do you know that that's not even a third, but that's about a third of what you could get in regular Knicks tickets? We looked up Knicks Jazz tickets, and the cheapest tickets is like 3 times more than that. So this is just showing you, like, yo, I don't know, man. Like, it's either fans don't care about the NBA Cup like that, or some teams they got up in there just are not marketable. I don't know, but it should have been us, but it's not us. It is what it is. I'm going to jump in the flagship now, I think, guys. I'm jumping the flagship. So we're going to talk about some rumors. As we talk about the rumors, I'm not going to talk about the Hawks game for sure. But as we talk about the rumors, right, I do want to ask you guys, where are you guys now in terms of trades? Do you guys still want the Knicks to make trades, or do you want us to sit tight and just build with what we got? Because to be honest, we're not even using some of the pieces we got. I'm going to keep it real. Ariel should be in the rotation until Mitch gets back. He wants to play 8 guys. I don't like it. I really don't. Ariel should be there. But since like December 15th is here, we're making a big deal about December 15th. Some people don't know why. And I'm going to give a brief explanation as to why December 15th is such a big deal and why you're starting to see some deals happening, right? It's the NBA trade moratorium, right? Why December 15th is important. If you guys read this article from the Daily News, it's a really good write-up. So basically what happens is when you sign guys over the summer, there's a appointed period of time. I can't remember if it's 4 months, whatever months. There's a period of time where you can't trade a guy who you just signed. So there's about 89 guys now that signed deals between this time period in the off season who are now can be moved. So now you might get some teams that may have signed some guys that they're not really using like that. Now they could come off of them. That's why December 15th is so important. So that's pretty much what this article is talking about. See, it says here, most players sign a contract. Just said that. Now look at some of the players that's eligible to be traded. Cody Zeller. How many guys would think you like Cody Zeller? I don't think he's playing in Atlanta. I'm not sure if he's hurt. But, okay, you got, of course, the Boston Celtics, they're not making no trades. But you got Nick Claxton. He makes too much money. Let's see. Seth Curry, Taj Gibson. How many guys want Taj Gibson back? Would you guys want Taj Gibson back? You could give, at this rate, we could give the Hornets a bag of chips, and they'll give us whoever we want. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Hold on. I see something in the chat. Hold on. Before I continue flagship, boom, I just glanced at the chat. Knicks 100, you looking at it wrong. Iheart is a journeyman. He accomplished what he came here to do. Get paid. Get his weight up and get paid. Let me see. Keeping it a buck. I honestly believe his love for the Mitch getting his spot back. What? Nah, B. Man, Isaiah Hartenstein told us. This is why I said it. I'm not sure if you was around Nick 100. You might have been around last year when I was doing the pod, right? Like last season, I would say earlier in the season, which might have been last year too. Anyway, I said, yo, there's one place that Hartenstein could go and would be a perfect fit. I said it was OKC. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, damn, OKC would be a great fit. But he said that what he knows from his performance in the regular season, which, by the way, was just 8-8, and he averaged 9.5 and 8.4 as a starter. Okay, I'm not trying to knock him, but because he did that, he knew that would land him a payday. And he chose to get the most money he could possibly get, not knocking him for that, right? So that's why Hartenstein's gone. Has nothing to do with Mitch and all that stuff. Yeah, no, has nothing to do with that. How you feel about Jalen Smith from Chicago? I like Jalen Smith. How you guys feel about Jalen Smith? Right? Because they got Valanciunas over there, right? Let's see if we can get his contract right quick. Hold on. Let's look at his contract. I like Jalen Smith. Let me see. 3-year, $27 million. Okay. So he's getting about 8.5. I don't know. Because 8.5, you would have to give up like Precious and Sims. I don't know if I want to do that. I didn't think he would make that much. But I like Jalen Smith, though. I ain't going to lie. I like Jalen Smith. He's tough. He's not a 7-footer, but He plays bigger than his height. You know, he plays bigger than his size. He can play a lot of 5. I don't know. What are you guys are thinking now? What you guys are thinking? Let me see. Knicks will be champs, says he likes Smith. It's just the money, though. Knicks will be champs. It's the money. It's just, that 8.5 is too much. Oh, you think he left because of the taxes, Nick 100? Possibly. I mean, but either way, it was money related, though. It had nothing to do with Mitch. Nah, it had nothing to do with Mitch, bro. But to be fair to your point, yeah, Mitch would have got traded. If they did sign Isaiah Hartenstein, Mitch would have been out of there. That's a fact. Big time facts. There's no debate. He would have been up. He would have been on a first train smoking, guaranteed, right? Because they had to get under the. Remember, they only had a certain amount of money to work with. Probably wouldn't have did the Towns trade either. But yeah, interesting dynamic how the Knicks would have been completely different if Isaiah Hartenstein would have stayed with the team. He did say he loves New York, but at the same time, I just feel like he's taking cheap shots because he's been saying little slick stuff all season. You know what I'm saying? Talking about, I've never seen a leader. What did he say? He said something trying to compliment the OKC guys, and I'm like, dude, you're really slighting us. You know, like just backwards compliments that he be saying that I don't like. You know who's nice? This kid right here, Najee Marshall for Dallas, is nice. He's not going nowhere. They're not trading him, for sure. But Najee Marshall is nice. If I had the chance to get him, I would get him. I'm looking at some of these players, guys. I ain't gonna lie, yo. It's not looking good for a trade, y'all. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't want to trade nobody at this point. Unless I can get like somebody like I don't even want to do it, but one rumor I heard, and let me see if I got it here. There's one rumor I did hear about. Oh yeah, this is a crazy website. Fadeaway World. No, not salute to fadeawayworld.net. I'm not trying to diss the website, but this article is kind of wacky. It says here, it has 7 under the radar trade ideas for the Knicks. Most of them won't happen. The Mavericks ain't trading Daniel Gafford. And if they do trade Daniel Gafford, why would they trade for Mitchell Robinson? That's not a good deal for them. But this Clint Capella trade to me is retarded. Look at I shouldn't say that word. God. But look what it's saying the Hawks will receive for Clint Capella, yo. Hold on, let me scroll up a little bit so you guys can see it. Mitchell Robinson, Precious, Matt Ryan. We're going to give up Mitch and Precious for Clint Capella? That's not a good trade. What happens if Clint Capella get hurt? Now you don't got it. Now you're going to go with Jericho Sims. No Precious. Clint Capella makes too much money. And that's it. Salary-wise, this is what you would have to give up to match the Clint Capella, by the way, for the Clint Capella people. But this trade right here, I was like, Mitchell Robinson, 2nd-round picks for Jordan Clarkson. He's somebody that's a bona fide bucket getter. I know we got Deuce. I know we got Campaign. But Jordan Clarkson is a bona fide bucket getter, y'all. I'm telling you right now. And like the title say right here, Jordan Clarkson brings buckets to New York. And it's just for Mitch. What do you guys feel about that? Yes, I see it already. Knicks 100, another undersized guard. Nah. I heart days were numbered the moment the Knicks extended OG. Why you say that? Wait, hold on. Knicks would be champs. Why you say what did OG have to do with iHeart? What did OG have to do with iHeart? Knicks would be champs. I'm curious. Wait, so hold on. Knicks 100. You willing to do Precious Achiuwa and Mitch for Capella, but you won't do Mitchell Robinson for Clarkson? I think the Clarkson deal is better. Yeah, you lose out on a 7-footer, but Jordan Clarkson he's a 6-man. Like, no offense to Deuce, but Jordan Clarkson is a real 6-man, bro. Like, seriously, for real. We need scoring off the bench. Yes, Deuce is a solid 10. Yes, Payne was a solid 8. I think Payne's minutes is getting cut, by the way, too. We talked about that a little bit on the Knicks talk call-up show. I don't know, y'all. This is the one trade I was like, He is an undersized guard. I get that. But he wouldn't be the only undersized guard we got. And then, Colin Sexton. So if you don't like him, how you feel about Colin Sexton? Now, I don't like giving up Kolick. I don't like giving up Kolick and Payne. It would be better if it was or Payne. But how you guys feel about Colin Sexton? He's another guy that is a better scorer than what we have off the bench for sure. I don't think he's a good defender, though. But how do you feel about Sexton? And I think his money's also more, too. That's why they got to add all these pieces to the deal. And Kobe White, this will never happen. I'm not even going to look at Kobe White. How about this? You guys willing to give up Precious for Nick Richards? Precious for Nick Richards. And you got to give up a first-round pick, even though this first-round pick we know ain't going nowhere because Washington is terrible and it's a conditional pick, but I'm good. Nick Richards, he's not bad. Yeah, he's averaging 11 and 10, but clearly Tibbs don't want to play. Well, I don't know. I can't even say that. Because when Mitch gets back, maybe Tibbs does play Towns and Mitch together. I mean, we've seen Precious and Towns play together, but when Towns and Precious plays together, Precious is the 4, not Towns. How many of you guys peep that? Towns maintains the 5 spot, and I'm saying positioning on the floor. You know, Nick Richards, he's not a power forward. He's a center. You get more height. That's the only thing I like about the Precious for Nick Richards trade. You get more height, but then you make your roster more confusing when Mitch gets back. Because Mitch is going to come back. So what happens with Mitch? Let me see what you guys talking about. Capella. No. Knicks 100. It's not about, when we talk about Clint Capella, Knicks 100, it's not about the money as much so as, it's not about the length of the contract. You said it expires this year. What the problem with Clint Capella is that you have to give up a lot of quality guys, which may honestly be more value than you would actually really have to trade for him. If put it like this, if Mitchell Robinson and Clint Capella made the same money, to me, that's a straight up trade. Like Capella for Mitch, straight up. But now you have to add Precious Achiuwa to the trade, and I'm like, if Towns or Clint Capella get hurt, now you don't got another big guy. And you don't got a power forward either, right? Precious Achiuwa technically is the only real power forward you have. So I might trade, me personally, I wouldn't trade Precious Achiuwa unless you're getting a better power forward. Like John Collins. I know he's not on this list. You go get a John Collins now, who's he's like a baby Randall. You know, he's not as good as Randall, but he gives you some of what Randall can give you. And he shoots a little bit of the 3-ball. I don't think he's that efficient, but then, yeah. But I'm not going to trade. I just don't think it's smart to trade Precious, even for somebody taller, because you got a taller guy coming. So you might as well just wait for Mitch to get back. Definitely, Maxine says, hit that like button, y'all. Definitely hit the like button. Let's get the likes up. And also subscribe if you're not subscribed. Let me see what you guys talking about in the chat. At low percentage, Clarkson, Sexton, Eubanks. Oh, you like Sexton and Eubanks. Only problem is, so wait, hold on. Let's go back to the Sexton trade because I don't remember who was a part of it. Hold on. This is my only problem with the Sexton trade is you got to give up Campaign and Kolick. Like if they would have took Campaign and Sims or Kolick and Sims, I might do it. But to give up Campaign and Kolick, now if Brunson get hurt, you ain't got another point guard. Like I'm a traditional kind of guy when it comes to like roster. Like I want 3 point guards, 3 centers. Everything in the middle can be whatever, but 3 point guards, 3 centers. Because if your point guard goes down and you ain't got a decent backup, your offense is going to struggle. I don't care who you are. And the 5 spot, you need size in this NBA, man. You need size. And we've seen what lack of size done to us during certain stretches in certain games. So to make yourself a smaller team, right, or to take away an extra point guard in this case, I don't think that that's wise. But if I could replace Campaign with Sims, I'd do it. I mean, I don't know if I want to do it. Because right now, I'm leaning on the side of no trade. But then now you say you want to get Drew Eubank. Who you trading to get Eubanks? Knicks 100 says it makes perfect sense. We get Capella for this year's run. We'll have money for next year. No, but Knicks 100, it's not about next year's money because he does free up like $20 million for next year. It's more so what I just said, like now you don't have a power forward. In the event, and we hope it doesn't happen, and we're sitting on pins and needles. I know, at least I am. If OG Anunoby goes down, guys, boy, that's going to be a tough blow. OG Anunoby goes down, and you don't have a Precious Achiuwa in your rotation, and you don't have another go-to power forward, you're going to put Josh Hart at the 4? Start Deuce? I mean, I don't like it. I don't like the Capella trade. Because it's not like, and maybe Tibbs would do it because Capella is a starter, so he would be coming off the bench. So to give him more minutes, you got to play him with Towns. But honestly, for what Capella is going to give you off the bench, I might as well just wait till Mitch gets back because I got to also give up Precious. And I just don't think it's wise. Knicks 100, you're not trading Kolek or Payne. Just like how Knicks 100, just like how you say that, I don't want to trade Precious. You can't trade Precious if you're not getting a better 4. If you get a Jeremy Grant, a John Collins, okay, trade Precious. But if you're not getting that, because your weakness realistically on the roster is not the 5. Your weakness is the 4, right? I mean, of course, it's not weak now because you have OG starting, Precious off the bench. But you can't, I mean, why compromise that? Only guy I would replace Payne with is Jared Butler. I like Jared Butler. But I wouldn't do it because Payne is a veteran and you don't need help at the guard spot. You need help okay, let me tell you what I think. Let me tell you what I think the Knicks need. You need the 6'7", 6'8", slender, athletic guy that plays the 4 in today's NBA. The Jalen Johnsons of the world, 6'9", 6'10", those slender guys that play the 4. We don't have that on our team right now. We might have it in Bacone Dadier. He's 6'7", right? No, 6'8", but he don't get no time. And he's young. He's only 18 years old. Okay. We don't got the 6'9" guy in our rotation right now. And that's if I'm doing a trade, it'll be for that. Or like I said, a John Collins. I mean, the center position to me is solid, bro. I mean, you got 5s. Then you got Precious, who you play at the 5. To me, he's better at the 4, but that's a whole nother conversation. Let me see if I got another article, too, with more rumors. Did I pull this one up? Let me see. Yeah, this is the Post article. Okay, cool. Let me see what they got here. All right. What are the Knicks assets? Do they have players to trade for? Sims. All right, yeah, who's out there? Let's see. Let's see what the Post is talking about. Some of the same guys. Hell no, Andre Drummond ain't going nowhere. Isaiah Stewart is interesting, but How you guys feel about Isaiah Stewart? I don't think Isaiah Stewart is better than Precious. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't think he's better than Precious. You know, like he's young. I and he's coming off the bench too. Well, Tobias Harris is there, but I'm not feeling him. I'm not feeling him. Walker Kessler's going nowhere. That's confirmed by Utah. They're not trading him. Daniel Theis is too small, and the Pelicans need a big guy. Vujacic makes too much money. He's in the Clint Capella range. Mark Williams and Nick Richards. I mean, we played Charlotte like 3 times, right? How many times you played Charlotte? Twice? Are you guys impressed with those two bigs? Like, to me, Nick Richards is definitely showing promise. I mean, he's a double-digit scorer, something that Mitch is not. But who am I willing to trade for him? Because if I'm not trading Mitch 2 to get a 4, like, okay, if we say let's do Precious for Nick Richards or Precious for anybody that's a center, you got to get back in return what you're needing. So you need a 4. That's what I'm saying. It makes no sense. It's like the Towns-Randall trade. It didn't make sense to trade Towns for Randall when you put Towns at the 4. You needed a 5. That's why you made the trade to get a 4 to get a 5. But you don't trade a 4 to get a 4, especially when there's an argument that could be made that the 4 you had is a better 4. Towns is a better 5 than Randall. Of course, that's not even a debate nor an argument. So you guys talking about. Precious on $6 million. You got to package him and Mitch. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you got to package him and Mitch. But you say, Knicks 100, you say Pacome could do it, but Pacome don't get no time. And if Pacome is not getting the time in the area when Precious was out, remember, we had no Precious for like damn near 2 months, 6 weeks, right? So if Pacome Dadier didn't get time then, when you're going with 8 guys, and that 8th guy is Jericho Sims, if Pacome Dadier can't crack that rotation, what makes you think he's going to crack a rotation now with 8 guys that Tibbs really likes? With Payne, Deuce, and Precious. It's just not going to happen. Or you trade Precious, Nick Richards. Same thing, right? Who's some of the other guys we brought up? I want Pacome Dadier to play. It's just that he's not getting the run. Let me see. Stack first by trading for 4 second rounds for a first. Deuce for 2 firsts? And get Kessler? Nah, Kessler's not coming. Kessler's not coming. Utah said they're not trading Kessler. He's not on the market. I saw a report that... Now, anything could happen. Anything could change. But I'm just saying, I saw an article saying that. Capella brings what we lack. It'll be later in the season. Okay, so Nick 100, if the trade's go... Listen to the logic, though, Nick 100, and I'm riding with you. If the trade's going to be later in the season and Mitch is coming later in the season, why not just wait for Mitch and you don't got to do that trade? When you know Mitchell Robinson can give you what he can give you. Maybe not the same offensive production that Capella gives you, but you know on the defensive side and on the glass, he can match whatever Capella's giving you. So, and you don't really need offense from Mitch, to be honest. You need those things that you're saying we're missing. So real quickly, I'm going to move a little faster now. I'm going to do the Knick of the week and stuff like that. So the Knick of the week this week. Oh, by the way, hold on. Before I get there, the Knick of the week, I do got the drum roll. I just remembered I got the drum roll. Hold on. Got the drum roll, okay? So this week's Knick of the week is none other than the big bodega, Karl Anthony Towns. New York City salute to Karl Anthony Towns. He is the Knick of the week for this past week. This dude, they said he's soft. They said that, he's not a 5, he's a 4. I mean, all the things that he said that was anti-Karl Anthony Towns being a 5, I think that he defied every single point and completely tore each of those arguments to shred during this stretch. Against the Toronto Raptors, he had 24-15. Listen, he had 24-15, 6, 2, and 2. And when I say 2 and 2, I'm talking about 2 blocks and 2 steals, 4 stocks, as the great Alan Hahn likes to call it. And then also, he hit the game-sealing 3 against the Raptors. Now, some of you might say, oh, it was against the Raptors. You know, they're not a great team, whatever, so and so. But I'm going to tell you this, and I told Dusty this on the Knicks call-up. Yoka Paulo is a walking double-double. That Portal guy is a walking double-double. He's not an easy night on the glass for any big man. He's going to fight you. I'm not saying he's a great defender. He plays a little defense, but Towns doing that against him, uber impressive. And then against the Hawks, he had 19, okay? 19, 5, 3, and 3. So he upped the 2 and 2 against the Hawks, though we did lose the game, and I don't like to give out individual accolades and losing effort. But since we're talking about individuals' performances here, to me, Josh Hart also had a great game that game to me. 21 points, efficient from the field, trying to will us to a win. But Towns' overall consistency in the 3 games, to me, puts him over the top because then he followed up that game with a 22-22 against the Magic, the physical, the third-ranked defense, the best defense in the Eastern Conference, the Orlando Magic. He followed up with a 22-22, right? Hasn't been done for him in, I believe, 5 years, right? Hasn't been done for the Knicks and going back a while as well. He had 5 assists and a block against the Magic, the number 1 ranked defense in the East. And during this stretch, he's averaged just under 22 points, just under 19 rebounds, and the man is uber impressive. I mean, of course, 5 assists. So he's the pick for the Knick of the week. How you feel about the Big Bodega getting his props? I do the Knick of the week every week, so he is this week's Knick of the week. Let me see what else I want to jump in. Let me do Word on the Street too real quickly since we're here. Do Word on the Street real quickly. Then I'll do Power Rankings and I'll probably rap. Because I'm going to at least make sure I hit everything that's on the screen. So then we'll do Power Rankings. And I'm going to get to your comments in a second. But we do Word on the Street, then Power Rankings. So Word on the Street, basically just us looking at what the Knicks fans were saying and how they felt throughout this week. This week was honestly definitely an emotional roller coaster. By the way, I'm glad this popped up here. Real quickly to make it bigger. Bam! I'm going to show you guys the schedule. This is the upcoming program on the channel. So, of course, Mondays at 6 o'clock, we got This Week Inside the Knicks. This Friday, the 20th, we got the Knicks Call-Up Show. Next Monday after that, we got This Week Inside the Knicks, 6 o'clock, same time, same place. So Monday, 6 o'clock, I'm going to be here. And we're also going to be a special feature on Still Knicks Fans channel. We'll be doing Still Knicks Fans Weekly next Monday, the 23rd at 10 p.m. So be there, be square. And, of course, Thursday instead of Friday, the 26th, the day after Christmas, we'll be doing the Knicks call-up. So real quickly, since I got it here, I figured, let me just put it on the screen. Then I'm going to jump back to the Word on the Street in a second. Let me see what some of your comments. Oh, you're saying the experience of Ariel and Pat-Man will be later in the season? To be honest, Nick 100, I don't think they're going to get the opportunity at this point, especially when Mitch gets back. It's over. It's shut down. As long as OG doesn't go down or we don't get like a long – I'm talking about not guys missing 1 or 2 games. I'm talking about like guys out for a month. Yeah, that's – yeah. Let me see. Emrod Achua picks for Portal? Nah, I don't think Toronto giving up Portal, Jay Chosen. Salute to you, by the way, Jay Chosen. I don't think that Portal – I don't think he's up for grabs. Not at least for that package. I think that they will want someone. Mitchell Robinson. You said Mitchell Robinson and Achua. Well, okay, yeah, they'll definitely take that because I just realized you said Mitchell Robinson and Achua. I'm not doing that if I'm the Knicks because I feel like if you're going to trade Precious, you're going to need a power forward because you cannot rely on OG Anunoby for the whole season. Yes, he's played every game thus far, We don't want it to happen. What we know is coming. He's never played 82 games straight. I'm hoping that is a small little miss a couple of games here and there. He finishes the season with 70 wins. 70 games. I'm not putting all my eggs in the OG Anunoby at power forward basket. That's why, for me, Precious Achiuwa is important. And him getting time with Towns is extra important as well, because you never know when that might have to be the lineup. By the way, like Knicks Will Be Champ says, definitely hit that subscribe button. By the way, to all my channel members, while I'm here, let me do that real quickly. I do want to show you guys what my channel members get when they join the channel real quickly. We got 2 different tiers. Knicks Will Be Champs is a channel member. That's why he prompted me to talk about this. But for each tier here, you get access to the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server, which is a private Discord server that I have for my members. We have 24/7 Knicks chat, 24/7 NBA chat. We talk basketball at any time. we especially when the games are on, we tend to have great conversations in there. Coaches in there, Knicks Will Be Champs will be there. My man Sam is in there. My man J Tap's in there. So in order to join the Knicks Tape Discord server, it's not on the screen. I didn't add it yet, but it will be there. So both membership packages, you will get access to the Discord server. Another thing, too, of course, you get the badges. You also get the members-only live chats when I start doing that. Priority reply to comments. Definitely, I always, look for my members in the comments live, whether it's live or even just content that I post to the channel, whether it be videos or comments. Special photos and status updates. Like I'm going to try to do it after this live stream. I'm going to put up some footage of my basketball games that I had. I'm going to put one up today for sure, guaranteed. And then also, so you get private content like that. Sometimes I put up pictures, like I put a picture of my son with a Knicks hat on. I put on just some private stuff. I have this thing called On My Unfiltered Thoughts. I haven't done one in a minute, but I will get back to it. So, just some special content. Another thing, too, I didn't get a chance to do last week, too. I will do it this week. Giving the members an opportunity to help develop the show content, right? So asking some of the members what type of topics you want to talk about, whether it be on the call-up or you want to see it on the podcast. So a lot I give to my members, especially starting out at the $4.99 package. Of course, all my members get shouted out, and you get an extra discount on the merch. So some of that Captain 11 merch that I showed earlier, you get a bigger discount when you become a member. And also I have giveaways, random giveaways. I haven't done one in a while, but I would look to bring back the random giveaways too. Those will, of course, go to the members. Another cool thing I give to the members too is like for the Knicks call-up show, I give them priority call-up status as well. So with my packages for my membership on my channel, I give away a lot of value starting at the $4.99 package. Some channels, you might just get a shout out and just a thank you for $4.99. My channel, you're going to get a lot. I take care of my members. And then this is the hardcore package, right? If you want a little bit more experience, one of the major features to the $14.99 package is the parlay builders. I apologize to my parlay builders. I haven't been active, but to be honest, there hasn't been a lot of basketball. So I took some time off from the parlay builder, but we're going to be coming right back towards the end of this week when we start getting more, because, the NBA Cup has been taking the attention and you haven't found so many games on in one night. But we're going to get back strong like I said, the second half of this week, we're going to be rocking and rolling with some picks for sure. We connect more on the other social media platforms, more only live streams and more content. And like I said, both of these packages, you get access to the Discord server. So I just wanted to give you guys a brief introduction as to what you get when you join the channel. Not just ask you to join the channel just to show love. No, you actually get stuff when you join the channel. So let me do word on the street right quick. And let me see where I want to start from. Yeah, every time I scroll past this, it just gets me mad. Sorry, I gotta scroll past it, and we might have to talk about some of the things here. I'm gonna start here. So I dropped this poll 4 days ago. This was post the Hawks game. Very sad time for Knicks fans. Keep it real, Knicks fans. What's the real reason why the Knicks lost to Trae Young last night? You got the refs. You got they struggle in close games. Trae has our number in big games. I'm gonna post my answer. I'm gonna say they struggle in close games. So up until last night, we were 4-6 in. Well, no. I'm wrong because technically I counted that as a blowout. But after this Hawks loss, we were 4-6 in close games, right? Below 500 in close games. We also were below 500 in games against teams above 500. Those games also always give us trouble, and I think that's the real reason why we lost. We just can't close our games. Even last night, it's like we got to get a blowout, or it's going to be a fight to get the win. And that's an area that we have to improve upon. We have to be above 500 in close games. So 31% said the refs, and 16% says Trae has our number in big games. So let me see. Jay Joseph said, yo, salute to Jay Joseph. He said, go past that Hawks game real quick. Salute to HRM Gray. He said Trae figured out the scheme. No, you know what? I'm going to tell you guys, and I did the write-up on this. And real quickly, you know what? Real quickly. I'm going to show you guys some of the things I was talking about in the write-up. So on the blog, this week inside the Knicks.com, I didn't mean to click that. I do write-ups for each game. Okay, so these are and it's called the 4 notables. I do 4 notables, 4 things that I noted about the game after watching it. I watched this game 2.5 times. So here's some of the things I noticed. The Trae Young chants, the Knicks defense wasn't a problem, right? And I'm going to chalk up the loss to this point here, number 2. I talked about here that rebounding has been the key to, believe it or not, rebounding has been the key to the Knicks' success this season. If the Knicks do not win the glass battle, more than likely they will lose the game. So last night we became 15-2 because we won the battle in the glass last night against the Magic. So right now we're 15-2 when we dominate the glass, meaning that we get more rebounds than the opposing team. So on the flip side, if we're 15-2 when we dominate the glass, that will mean that we are actually 1-8 when we don't dominate the glass. And part of the reason why I was so frustrated with the Hawks game is in the second half, we were +2 on the glass in the first half. In the second half, the Hawks made it their priority to dominate the glass. I'm just going to say it like that. YouTube algorithms, frustration. I got to watch what I say. And the Knicks had the opportunity to put more size on the floor, and Tibbs opted to go with the small lineup. They had 22 offensive rebounds. They were shooting 28% from 3. It wasn't Trae Young. Trae Young was not efficient from the field. He wasn't. He had a great quarter. He had 12 in 4 or 5 in the quarter. But he wasn't shooting the lights out from a effective field goal percentage. He really wasn't. It really was they got 22 more possessions on top of their bad shooting. And then the captain didn't show up. As much praise as we give Jalen Brunson, and we love the Brunson burner, New York City salute to Brunson, Captain 11 shirts, get him at shop.theobjectiveknicksfan.com. We love Jalen Brunson. But he did not show up. He had an opportunity. He didn't show up in the third quarter. Granted, Dyson Daniels, defensive candidate of the year, he's defensive player of the year candidate, was on his body, 6'8", tough. But at the same time, you trying to tell me the Magic defense wasn't tough last night? The captain had 31 against the best defense in the East. The Hawks don't have the best defense in the East. Paolo and Franz Wagner does not make the Magic a better defensive team. Those guys that played last night is the reason why the Magic are a great defensive team. So I'm not trying to be too hard on the captain because he has shown that he is reliable and he has shown that he shows up. Captain didn't show up against the Hawks, y'all. So not only did we crash the glass, your captain looks like the backup point guard, you're in trouble. So that's my take on the Hawks game. Like, I know I wasn't going to cover the Hawks game like that, but read more. You could go to thisweekinsidetheknicks.com. All you got to do is just go click on When you get there, you go to the blog, click on more, game reviews, bam, you see all my reviews. And like I said, I got one for the Magic coming. That's why we lost the game, bro. I'm going to keep it real. It wasn't the refs. No, it wasn't none of that. Trae Young had a great quarter. Outside of that quarter, for the rest of the game, Trae Young had 10 points. It wasn't, it's the game within the game. For whatever reason, Jalen Brunson just didn't have it. Right? Not trying to come for him, but it's the truth. And the fact of the matter, they struggle in close games. They still haven't figured it out. Because like I said, a lot of their wins, when you look at the Knicks' wins, they got 11 blowouts. For me, a blowout is a game that's not a close game. So a blowout doesn't necessarily have to be a 30-point game. Blowout is a game that is like out of reach, and it's not a close game within the final 5 minutes, like how the NBA counts it. I don't really go by that standard too much because I feel like there's a lot more elements to the game. Like you could be down 10. I mean, we've seen it. You could be down 10 with 3 minutes to go, come back and win. So how I calculate it is, where did you have an opportunity to win the game when it mattered? And of course, against the Hawks, we did. Right? And we just couldn't get over the hump. Right? So that's just what it was. That's what it was for me. And like I said, Tibbs does not want to play the side. I don't know. He don't want to put out Jericho Sims with Precious for like 5 minutes. He don't want to do that. He want Precious to go out there with them 6'10" dudes jumping out the gyms. They got 6'8" dudes. These guys are flying out the gym, y'all. You got to match that production. Due to recent disappointments this season, should the Knicks consider changing their starting lineup? Ooh, this is an interesting question. I think I dropped this on the day of the Knicks call-up show. Anyway, I'm going to say no. So 150 votes, 56% of Knicks fans say yes, the Knicks should consider changing the starting lineup. 35% say no. 9% say they don't know. Now, I'm going to say, I feel like the reason why we got so many people wanting to change the lineups is because we lost. If the Knicks would have won, I'm pretty sure it would have been the opposite direction. I don't think the starting lineup needs to change. I think the philosophy about keeping that small lineup out there needs to change, y'all. I'm going to keep it real. You can't just, you could do whatever you want. You're the coach, but if you see they got 6'9", 6'10", 6'10", and they're plus 20 on the glass or plus 10 on the glass, and you got guys you could put in the game to try to nullify that, and you don't put them in the game, I think that's the bigger issue. I'm hoping that changes with Mitch because he's going to have to play Mitch and Towns together. So, but my logic in thinking is you can't suffer because you got some games, y'all. We got to see Orlando again. We got to see Orlando on the 27th. And they might have Paolo. And they hate our guts right now. You're going to see teams with size. Right? Utah's coming. You're going to see teams with size. So you got to put the size out there. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I don't think the starting lineup needs to change because I think on most nights, that starting lineup is going to blow whoever out the water in the first quarter. The issue is the second unit. The second unit can't score for nothing. Now, granted, it is an 8-man rotation, so the starters are with the bench, which kind of puts a damper on the whole bench struggles because if Mikal Bridges is playing with Deuce McBride and Mikal Bridges has 10 points, you might as well count his points with the... You see what I'm saying? Like, he's playing with the bench guys. So, I don't think the Knicks need to change their starting line. You can let me know what you guys think about that, and I'm going to read the comments. Another poll, keep it real, Knicks fans. Were you happy to see Trae Young get bounced from the... See, at least, look, I took us down the Hawks path, and I picked us back up. Do you think that... Were you happy to see Trae Young get bounced? I'm going to say yes, F. Trae Young. I'm riding with that. Man, I was out there game 5 against the Pacers when we won that game. I was outside, and they said, F. Trae Young. Guess what I did? I did what I did like I was in Rome. I'm going to do what the Romans do. So I'm going to say 65% of Knicks fans said yes. But 30% say they honestly don't care. I'm riding with the 30% too because I honestly don't care. I'm going to keep it real. I feel like we're going to see them again. It's an NBA Cup game. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got 3 more games against the Hawks. And the Knicks better win 2 out of 3 at least. But damn it, get all 3. But you can't drop no more games to the Hawks and give the Hawks bragging rights this season. Because if they don't make the playoffs, that's going to be their playoffs. Last one I'll talk about real quickly is to double down on the Knicks defense. The Knicks defense has improved drastically over the last few games. Do you believe it's for real or merely an aberration? Okay. I'm going to say yes, it should continue to improve. 69% of Knicks fans think the defense will improve. 24% says no, it's still not there. We'll see. That's all for Word on the Street. Let me see the chat. Jay Chosen, I'm sorry I showed the Hawks again, but I did show the Hawks losing, Jay Chosen. You got to give me credit for that. New York City salute for that. And I showed the poll saying we happy they lost. So you got to give me credit for that. Knicks 100, I was happy to see the Hawks lose. Facts. Yeah. Screw them. Them dudes couldn't hit the side of a barn. Facts. No way we were supposed to be in a struggle versus a non-shooting team. That's a good point. The only thing about that, though, is they are really good defensively. Like, so, yeah, offensively, they're not that good. I think some of it was our defense, too. I think we played good defense, but their offense is not really. They missed like 8 threes in a row, y'all. Like, seriously, like they missed 8. If you miss 8 threes in a row and you have the heart to shoot the threes when you're last in 3-point percentage, what is that? Is that like just poor IQ or I don't know. That's just, they missed like 8 threes. But at the same time, their defense is really good. Like, they are the best defensive team in the East, for sure, without a doubt. Only them 2 in the West is better than them. In the East, when you watch them, they lock it down. And also another thing, too, about that game, they're a really good home team. Remember, they went 10-9-0 at home. No, 10-0 at home without Paolo. So at home, there's something about the home base that makes them play better. But I think what partially threw them off is they might have felt like they was in Madison Square Garden. Because salute to the Knicks fans. We took over the building. Let me see. ATL got height and athleticism. That makes up for questionable defense. Facts. But the Hawks are not a bad defensive team, but they're not like top tier either. I wouldn't put the Hawks in the top tier. But yeah, the athleticism, the ability to get blocks, right? And force turnovers. Dyson Daniels does a great job putting pressure on point guards. So that makes them look a lot better, at least on the defensive end. Yeah, we definitely were happy the Hawks lost. We have the most trouble with the big, fast, athletic teams. Facts. I mean, that's just what it's been all year. Look at some of our losses, right? So we lost to Houston. We lost to Atlanta. We lost to Indiana. Even though I wouldn't say Atlanta's a big athletic team, but they do got some athleticism in the front court. We barely lost to Chicago, but I'm not sure how athletic I would consider their front court to be. I mean, Patrick Williams is not really that athletic, but they got a lot of young boys they like to play on that team. But we did lose a bad game. That was a bad loss to Chicago. But some of our losses, it shows that, them young teams with the length definitely gives us problems. Jay Chosen, Trey here is horrible as our interior defense. Oh, my God. Salute to Jay Chosen for the joke. Oh, by the way, salute to Sam oh, my God. New York City, salute to Sam in the building. I didn't see you could get in here, Sam. Definitely Knicks Tape Madness Discord server. Let me see. I was upset about getting bumped from the tournament. A day later, I got over it. Yeah, Sam. Listen, man. We know in the Discord, we always we was going through it in the Discord, y'all. That's why you should join the channel, get in the Discord server because we here to really, give each other, good conversations. Gonna be okay. We was in there. I mean, I remember J Tap was like, "Yo, we cannot lose this game." And I felt him when he said that because I'm like, damn, because I was talking a lot of trash too. So if we lose this game, they're going to be coming for our necks, for my neck though, because I've been talking a lot of trash. So yeah, it was pretty crazy, man. Salute to you though, Sam. I see you in the building. Oh, speaking of, Jay Tapp is in the building. Definitely channel member, Knicks Tape Madness. Discord server. Man, J-Tap, I know, man. We was all going through it. Definitely all was heated. Yeah, man. But yo, the beauty of it, we bounced back. We got the bounce back win, and they lost. So they up out of there. You know, they shouldn't even been there from the start, but we lost. So it is what it is. It definitely is what it is. Let me see where we at, y'all. If there's any other things I want to touch on before we get up out of here, we covered everything on the screen. We covered. Oh yeah, we didn't cover power rankings. That'll be the last thing I'll get into, and before we head out. So let's talk about the power rankings. Right, like I said, this week I got the Bleacher Report power rankings as well. So we got 2 power rankings we'll look at. I'm gonna scroll down. Of course, Boston number 1, Cleveland number 2. By the way, the date of these power rankings is December 11th, so it might be a couple of days behind. If you like, oh man, wait, why is this team is here? It's due to December 11th ranking. So Boston Celtics number 1. Okay, Cleveland number 2. Got no issue with that. OKC number 3. No issue with that. Dallas number 4. Right, they moved up 4 spots though. Dallas moved up 4 spots to number 4. So I think they leapfrogged us. Memphis Grizzlies number 5, and didn't change. I'm cool with that. Houston Rockets number 6. They dropped from 4 to 6. Okay, and then we're number 7. Salute to the Knicks for getting number 7 on the list. This was, of course, before the Atlanta game, and I'm cool with the 7th spot in the power rankings. I'm cool with the 7th spot in the power rankings. Like I said, last week I said the Warriors have to drop below us. They've been losing crazy games, and they still was in the top 7. I'm like, how is that? So I said, yo, the Warriors got to drop. They dropped the Warriors. Let me see who else got dropped. Orlando got dropped too. Orlando should be ahead of the Warriors. I'm going to keep it real. The Warriors, they were losing a lot of games up until the point of this article as well. And they got Denver number 10, who held on strong. So that's ESPN. I'm going to go to Bleacher Report. And I think Bleacher Report is a little bit more closer to our time. Let me see. This came out December 13th, so it was a couple of days after the ESPN report. So they like to start from 30. I'm scrolling all the way down because I never care about the bottom 15 for sure. Atlanta Hawks is number 15 on the list. Look at they got them rolling the dice. Let me scroll past. I'm sorry, y'all got to see the dice. My fault. Miami Heat number 14. Denver number 13. Wow, Denver has dropped off. I mean, Denver was a top 5 team for a lot of the rank. Even this rank is different from ESPN, but Denver was a top team. I mean, they completely had dropped off from the top, from the elites. And they stayed, well, at least on Bleacher Report, they stayed at 13. So Orlando Magic number 12. Clippers number 11. That's interesting. Clippers number 11. Warriors 10. I think this is a better placement for Golden State versus the ESPN number 8 because they've been losing a lot of games. Minnesota Timberwolves number 9. Ant-Man. We're getting ready to see them on Thursday. I think Thursday or Friday. No, Thursday. Milwaukee Bucks number 8. They've been playing good basketball, undeniable. And the Knicks number 7. So we're number 7 on both the power rankings, y'all. They did drop us because we lost. So they dropped us because we lost to the Hawks, of course. 2 spots. But we still in number 7. I got no problem with that. We right behind Houston, Dallas, the cream of the crop, Memphis, right? Cleveland, even though they got Cleveland number 3. OKC number 2 and Boston number 1. Boston should drop though. I think Boston probably will drop down. They probably elevate Cleveland next week. But that's all for the power rankings, y'all. Let me see what you guys talking about in the chat. Still okay. You still upset with the loss? Pistons lost. Yeah, the Pistons lost. Knicks will be champs. You know, like I said, I came off a Still Knicks Fans channel and I said, yo, we about to go on a Cleveland Cavalier run. That Pistons loss just completely wiped that out. And I'm gonna say this too. Though I think that we'll beat Cleveland, I'm going to say the Cavaliers are for real. I'm gonna give them their props. They've beat some teams recently that made me say, okay, they did beat Denver, and they did beat a couple of other good teams. Cleveland is for real. I still think we got their number, but we right behind them. We're number 3, so let's see. I just hope that we see them in the playoffs. I really want to see Cleveland in the playoffs. Let me see. We showed that we are not focused enough to win a ring. That's a fact. And you know what, though? On Knicks 100, I think that we need to pull back off the championship talk. For right now, let's get more games under our belt. Let's focus on getting a top 3 seed. We get a top 3 seed in the East. Now we can start talking about championship. I just don't want to look too far ahead because, like you said, this team is not ready. I mean, when you look at some of the losses, right? Atlanta, even though they're not a sub 500 team, that's a win. Detroit is a win. Dallas is a tough game. And Chicago is a win. I'm just looking at some of the losses we got. Those games don't happen for championship contenders. Now, of course, on any given night, you're going to lose to somebody. We know Cleveland lost to Atlanta twice, right? We know Boston's lost some games, right? They should have lost to Toronto, but they robbed Toronto in that game. So, yeah, you're going to have these up and down performances, but there's just certain losses that you just don't get as a championship team. Let me see. Anything else I miss? Knicks 100. I'm happy with knowing the Hawks lost. Magic are pretty much us, and us in this first year here. The Magic are like us. What could you say with the injuries? I'm gonna say the Magic is not us because the Magic has a crutch, and that's at home. The Magic won't have the success that we had. Not to say that we had that much success, but success in getting out of the first round until they become a better road team. They're just not good on the road. I don't know what it is about leaving Orlando or what they're doing in Orlando, but when it comes to playing Orlando, they're like damn near invincible. When it comes to playing on the road, food. That's why I knew we was going to beat them the first game. With or without Paolo. It didn't matter. They're just not a good road team. And you're going to have to be a good road team if you try and win playoff series. Can't do it all at home. But they're going to take teams to 7 games and lose because they can't win on the road? Crazy. They can't shoot. That's a fact. The Pistons loss definitely had me punching the air. Yeah, the Pistons loss definitely was a bad loss. No excuse. I considered that game to be a blowout, because we didn't have a chance of winning. And it's just, I mean, what could I say about that game? To lose at home, and I think we lost 2 in a row, right? Because then we lost to the Hawks. So yeah, that was the first of the 2 in a row losing at home. I mean, bad loss. Now it happens, but last year we were way more dominant against sub 500 teams. We only had 5 losses in the entire year. We already got 4 losses this year to sub 500 teams. So yeah, punching the air is right. Get your Rocky Balboa on. Just like we could shoot with Bullock and them out there. They can't shoot. Yeah, they can't shoot. I mean, yeah, Magic definitely that are you talking about the Raptors? Let me see. Not sure if we showed off versus the Raptors. I just think that the Hawks the rebounding battle. Like that's been a key stat for us all year. The only team we beat without winning the boards is the Raptors. And that was a close game. Had we been more dominant on the glass, we'd have blown the Raptors out. But that's easier said than done because, they got Yoga Portal. So, but that's all for this pod, man. Yo, thank you guys for rocking out with me, man. I do got to give a big salute to everybody that was in the chat. I got to give a big salute to our channel members. Knicks will be champs, 25-26. J-Tap for sure. Knicks Tape Madness Discord server. Coach Sam in the building. Got to give a big salute to my weekly supporters. Definitely Knicks 100, always in the building. Definitely always in the building. HRM, the great Jay Chosen. Salute to you. Salute to who else came in the building? All the people that came in today. Another guy, I think his name is Court. Salute to him too. He has some good points. Just taking a quick look at the chat. Salute to everybody that came in the building today, rocking out. New York City salutes to all of you guys. This is the podcast. Now, anything else that we didn't cover during the pod, you can catch it on thisweekinsidethenix.com. Go there and you can read up on all the news, all the write-ups, players of the game, Knicks of the week. All that stuff is there, thisweekinsidethenix.com. Oh, I didn't do the one thing I didn't do. I forgot to do this. And I have to do it. So I also want to give a big salute to the Liz hat of the day. My fault. When you go to the blog, there's a section called Cool Knicks Hats. Now, mostly 90% of the hats I put on the blog, they're all discounted. So this hat right here, I love this hat. I wore this on Friday. See this right here? I put it back in the plastic because I'm like, man, I probably won't wear this for another 2 months. This hat right here is so fire, right? It's the 24, 25 edition hats. Lids got it right now. I think they had it the last time I checked, it was $30. I paid $42 for this hat. Look at it. They got all types of savings, and you get it before Christmas. All you have to do is go to the blog, thisweekinsidetheknicks.com. Click on Cool Knicks Hats. You'll see it right here. This is the Knick hat of the day. It's the white edition of the 25-26 City Edition hat. So you see I got mine. Like I said, I wore it on Friday, right? Go get yours. It is the lit hat of the day. And oh, by the way, I wasn't even in research mode. Forgot I'm in studio mode. I got to hit the transition button. Let me go back real quickly, just so you guys can see it. I just had it there. Hold on. Right here. Bam. Cool Knicks hats. You click on the Cool Knicks hats tab, you'll see it right here. So, bam, I got it. Alonge, my producer, saying that they can't see the hat. So now you can see the hats now. My fault. On the blog. Bam. Producer making sure I'm sharp. Now you guys can see it. It's this hat right here. Bam, I just had it. Just came in on Friday. Love this hat. Go check it out now. Like I said, it's a big time discount. I paid $42. I actually paid full price for it. And they got a special deal, $32 right now on lids. So best way to get it, go to my blog, Cool Knick Hats. You'll find it. And you can check out all the hats I got. That's not the only hat there. We got the blackout edition, right? You know, we got all types of hats on there. And like I said, all these hats now, especially because it's the holidays, a lot of them are specially priced. Let me see if this one is damn near $50. Okay, this one is full price. But most of the other hats, like this one here, $24.99. So yeah, see, $24.99. So all you gotta do is go to the blog, you fill in the hats, right? Click the link, and you'll be set, man. So, like I said, man, that's all for this pod, man. So, thank you guys for rocking out with me. New York City salutes, and until next time, let's go, Knicks.